understanding is that the impact has been a little bit more severe in your region. Tell us about that.
Um, Speaking to farmers, they are really deeply worried and concerned about the situation because the dry spell that was experienced in this Upper West region was really devastating for them. As Albert rightly put it, some of them want to farm as well as March, April, and then expected to have good rains. And so when they did the planting, they expected that once the rain comes, at least it will gel with whatever they have planted. But for a dry spell of close to about 5-6 weeks, really didn't help matters. And so when you move to the communities like the Sesala Enclave, which is the breadbasket of the region, they are the people that are mostly affected by these, these dry spell that we are experiencing. So farmers really, though the season is still not over, but already they are counting their losses. Some of them have told me that they have at least invested huge sums of money, thousands of Ghana cedis into producing this large acreage of farms, and yet it's amounting to nothing. And so the people really are not happy with the way things are panning out, especially in the Central Enclave. Just a week ago when I moved to the East district and then also heading to the Central West, the farms that I saw, that I was really not happy with what I saw. The maize, that destruction, and then even if you see the maize, they were not even watering, and then you saw farmers right at the farms, and they just can't say anything that's certain akimbo.
What is their main concern here? Is it the loss of the produce? Are they worried about not being able to feed their families, or the revenue? Tell me what their biggest concern is at this point.
Whatever that you have raised, Kojo, is based on that. How are they going to feed their families? Here in that region, majority of the farmers, more than 50% of them are subsistence farmers. And so they depend on these food crops, to feed their families. It's just some few, tons that few people who are involved in this commercial farming that at least sells the product. And even with those who are doing subsistence farming, after taking what their family will eat, they need to tell some of those things at least to, as a batter, at least to get other ingredients into their food. And so that's their main worry. The second thing has to do with loans that these commercial farmers have gone into, to take care of these large acreage. Let me start an example. A hectare of land, if you are going to plow it, the least cost involved in it is about 4,000 Ghana cedis. 4,000 Ghana cedis. And so if you have gotten this money into these farms, and then at the end of the day, it's amounting to nothing, it wouldn't really go well for the situation. So some farmers here in the Upper really, some of them are on near suicide mission because they don't really believe in what will happen to them, because they expected a lot. They had a lot of hopes that at the end of the season they will be able to get much. But at the end of the day, it's like much ado about nothing.
We'll get to the farmers who are on near suicide mission, but you, I know you're also a farmer. Did you plant this season, and have you been affected?
I don't really know what really got into me. I suspected that it may not be well this year, and so because of that, I applied my brakes. And so this year, I didn't go into real commercial farming. What I did was to do commercial plowing for farmers, and then to take the money. I have about 10 tractors, new tractors, and that's what I use. Plowing an acre is about 300 Ghana cedis. And so because of that, that's where I went into. So I was only expecting that when these farms, have good yields, and then when they are harvest, then I'll go in with my crashes as well, also to take another booty. But here's the case. The first plan has worked. The second plan wouldn't work for me because I don't expect much harvest from the farmers that will allow me to take my crashes to go and say, when you do the crashing, each 10 bags that you crash, you take 1 bag. And so that was what I was expecting after doing the commercial plowing for them. But it appears that will be in vain.
You've also, you talked about something, and I want to understand this. How in the Upper West region, because in the past we had concerns about price of fertilizer, were there some farmers who couldn't cultivate much because of the price of fertilizer, and how are they reacting to this dry spell?
You know, when government brought this issue of the fertilizer subsidy, somewhere around 2018, 2019, the subsidized fertilizer used to cost about 47, 49 Ghana cedis. And many people, that really, you know, got a lot of people into farming, people like me. You know, the first time that I got into farming, I plowed about 420 acres. And I got over 4,000 bags of maize. The second incident, the second year, I think that was around 2019, 2020, the subsidized fertilizer was around 62, 65 cities. I went and I did over 600 acres, and I got over 5,000 bags of maize. But the third one, when the program folded up, as we speak now, a bag of fertilizer in the region costs about between 400 and about 600 Ghana cedis. Many farmers could not afford it, and because of that, they reduced the farm size. And so you've got a lot of farmers, because there is no subsidy on the fertilizer, and so because of they have reduced their farm size, and which is really at least having impact on the farmers. And so they want to cut their quote according to their size, and that's really what actually transferred it. Because the cost of fertilizer here is really having a lot of effect on farmers, and because of that, they reduce the size of their farms.
So how are the farmers in your region reacting to government's proposals of how to deal with this? The ban on the export of grain and the compensation of about 1,000 cedis per acre.
Their reaction is really mixed. Because I spoke to some of them, yes. Some of them are telling me that it's better to have nothing. And then others are saying that they are even poo-pooing it, because they are saying that it's much ado about nothing. They think that it's a lip service. Because if you take, like, say, you're talking about a hectare, and government want to give them relief, that will cost about 1,000 Ghana cedis. I told you earlier, the cost of, farming 1 hectare, which is about 2 acres, is close to about, the least is 4,000 Ghana cedis. And so if the cost, because if you take fertilizer, we are going to do 2 fertilizer, that's about 1,000 Ghana cedis. You know, the cost of plowing, that's about 600 Ghana cedis. That alone is about 1,006. But don't talk about having laborers on the farm, they're planting the seed. So 1,000 Ghana cedis for them, they don't think that they can do anything. But at least, like some of them say, it's far better than saying that, okay, may God send you there. That's what the doctor will tell you. It's far better to have it than not having it. But for them, they think that it won't do anything.